out of the blue. This is the typical Patriot move. Nobody thought the Patriots were interested. They had plenty of opportunities to show interest. Oh, the Patriots aren't interested. Oh, the Patriots are fine with the guys they have. And then all of a sudden, Cam Newton is a Patriot, and everybody's like, man, that makes sense. We should have seen that one coming, Chris. What was your first thought when you saw Cam Newton headed to New England?
Like, shock, but then I was like, well, why am I shocked? Like, I mean, it's just so New England. Oh, yeah, we'll just get a guy that's, what I think is one of the 10 best quarterbacks in football for $1 million and add him to our team. It's just like they waited everybody out. They thought, I'm sure they did their research, called, talked to all the right people. I mean, knowing New England, I wouldn't be shocked if they had him followed, really, to really watch him and see what's going on and see what he looks like in workouts. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked by any of it. But, of course, I'm intrigued. Yes, I mean, Cam Newton's a special talent. And he is, a guy that I think New England, they could have a tremendous boom factor here. Yeah, I think it's one of those things I look at and go, like, it's either going to be like New England in the AFC Championship game, or he won't win the starting job and Jarrett Stidham will beat him out. Jarrett Stidham's not going to lay down here. I know that. He's got talent. They like him. I think what they just said is, hey, we can keep this guy for a few more years, and there's this other guy that's a proven commodity that, can take over games by himself. And, yeah, he's been hurt, but let's try him out because we still got this guy, Stidham, in our back pocket for as long as we want. So we're in a no-win or no-lose situation here, really. But, I think this has a chance to be special, but I'm not 100% sold on that it will be because it's going to be tough in this year. And that offense, as I've told you before, is the toughest offense to learn in all of football.
Two factors. Well, actually, let me give you three factors now that you've mentioned the offense. I'm going to start with the offense.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think that he's going to be learning the Patriots' offense. I think the offense is going to adapt to him.
I agree.
Josh McDaniels is the guy who drafted Tim Tebow back in 2010, created an offense that later was used when Tebow was the starter after McDaniels was fired because it all fell apart for him.
And remember when Jacoby
Denver.
Brissett played, Mike, they ran kind of that same type of offense too when he had to come in for Jimmy Garoppolo the year Brady was suspended. Sorry, I just wanted to throw that in there.
No, you're fine. Yeah. But they're not going to take the square peg and cram it into the round hole. They're going to have an offense that Cam Newton is able to run if he can win the job. Number two, is he healthy? That's going to be the key more than anything else. He passed the physical. They kind of took a leap of faith in doing the deal when the agents represented to the Patriots that Cam Newton is good to go. But if he's healthy, then we get maybe Cam Newton of 2015. Who knows? And then the key ultimately is going to be, and this is a point that Peter King made earlier, Josh McDaniels has never been in Cam Newton's presence. We don't know if they're going to get along. We don't know what kind of a relationship they're going to have. We don't know whether or not that aspect of it will work. Now, we think it will work because of the way the Patriots played this. They allowed circumstances to beat Cam Newton down to the point where he was ready to take anything. And when you look at the contract he took with a base of $1.05 million, and a high end of $7.5 million. We broke down the incentives. He has to have essentially league MVP, Super Bowl MVP type season to get the $7.5 million. And if that happens, it'll be the greatest investment in the history of sports because they will have won the Super Bowl before he gets $7.5 million. Look, he's motivated.
Yes.
He's determined. And even if year 2 or year 3 with Josh McDaniels wouldn't work, I think year 1's going to work because they're getting Cam Newton with the absolute perfect mindset to come in and do everything that's asked of him and prove everyone wrong that looked the other way when Cam Newton became available.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with just about everything you said there. And, back to the playbook stuff, I mean, you're right. That's kind of what I said there on the podcast. They're going to formulate the offense around him, no doubt. And, people got to realize these plays, they're already in New England. The Cam Newton type plays are already in the New England playbook. Now, with Tom Brady at quarterback.
Tom Brady doesn't use them.
Well, yeah, they might have been at page 180 on the playbook when he was the quarterback. Now they'll bump him up 100 pages. But all of this is there. And then nobody in the history of football is better at building off of what you do good and then figuring out the formula. Listen, in my one of my big things I said in my first reaction to this whole thing was I truly think this team is built to play Cam Newton football more than it is to play, let's just say, Tom Brady football. And when I say that, I mean spread the field out, throw the ball, quick decisions, the things we've seen Brady dissect people with forever. They're not really made for that right now. But running the ball, guys like Mohamed Sanu, Julian Edelman, N'Keal Harry, who have like special skill sets where you can run them, they can throw it, you can have a lot of movement and things like that within your offense. I think there's a lot of potential here, and I think New England, like I said, I'm betting on Boom. I really am. I'm with you there. I'm betting on Boom. Just a little bit of a bust factor for me.
Remember when we were counting down the quarterbacks from 40 up to number 1, somewhere in the high teens, there was a line of demarcation between the guys who are very adept at running the play that's called and the guys who, if the play that's called goes to hell in a handbasket, can make something happen. Newton was on the right side of that. So this is an element that the Patriots have not had. With Tom Brady, it's pre-snap reads, decisions made quickly, ball gets out quickly.
Right.
If the play begins to fall apart, it's bail out before you get blown up. Cam Newton is going to be able to extend and improvise and develop, and that's what we've seen the Patriots struggle with when they face a guy like Cam Newton. And by the way, get your PFT bingo cards ready. Cam Newton 2-0 all time against Bill Belichick.
Bingo!
Hey, in hindsight, why? Look, I know why it took so long. It took so long because they knew they could get him on better terms if they waited.
Exactly.
One of the issues that came up last week, they resolved longstanding grievances with Antonio Brown and Aaron Hernandez's estate and create $7 million in cap space. Yeah. Right after they get Cam Newton's ink dry on the contract, after they told him, sorry, this is all we have, they get $7 million in fresh cap dollars that he could have said, I want those. This is why the Patriots have 6 Super Bowl trophies. They know how to hatch a plan. They know how to implement a plan. They know how to keep their mouths shut. And they get the guy. If other teams knew what Bill Belichick was thinking of doing, somebody else would have jumped on Cam Newton before Belichick could have gotten him.
Yeah, no, I mean, yes. And, hey, they had a situation where at the quarterback situation, I think it was one of the easier ones to accept a Cam Newton on the team too, right, Mike? I think that's the other thing, and I agree with everything you said there. But they have a guy that, at least in the locker room, people like and think has potential, but he's not like, oh, this is our starter, and then, oh, crap, Cam Newton's crapping all over him every day in practice, and now you devise the locker room. This would be one of those things where I think the team can accept it pretty quick. Once they see Cam Newton out there and he knows the offense, they're going to be like, whoa, okay, we got a stud, here we go, and they're going to be completely fine with him being the starting quarterback with Stidham being unproven to this point.
All those guys who were praising Jarrett Stidham's potential quickly pivoted to praise Cam Newton's performance, and it will not be a schism in the New England locker room when Cam Newton finally shows up.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.